Hi everyone, my name is Kate, welcome back to my wondernetting channel, and today we're gonna crochet with you this gorgeous sweater that is perfect for Valentine's Day and for International Women's Day and actually for everyday wear. This sweater feels so unique, I don't know, because of the mix of two styles, romantic style and casual style, I don't know, but it's gorgeous. Actually, this is not my design, I was inspired by this sweater. And I've seen this sweater a couple of times on my Pinterest and I saved this picture. Also, I know there is this sweater in milk color and it looks more tender and neat. This sweater is not even crocheted, this is a fabric knitted sweater. I don't know this brand, I just like this design. So I decided to make my own crochet version. I think my version looks good too. By the way, I made this sweater in 4 days. This sweater is non-sewing, we will not sew any parts together on this sweater, we just crochet all up to down, except all of the roses. As I said, I made this sweater in 4 days because I used thin yarn, and I recommend you to use more bulky yarn like size 3 or 4 DK yarn. I used light worsted yarn. If you use more thicker yarn, you will crochet it much faster. If you start the sweater now, you will have time to crochet it by February 14th. And before we start, please subscribe to my channel, to my Instagram, to my TikTok, to my Red Nose, all my social medias, please. And let's get started. I found this sweater on Pinterest, but it was an ad that led me to a local marketplace. Here I could take a closer look at the sweater and its design. I really like it in white, but I have a lot of red yarn, so I'll make it in red instead. We will need 8 skeins of yarn in 50 grams 170 meters, it's light worsted yarn. I ordered mine from Wool Club, they have a lot of high quality yarns, and if you use my code wondernetting you will get 5% off. Also we'll need hook 3.5mm and 5mm, also scissors, tape measure, markers and needle. We'll start crocheting the sweater from the top, beginning with the ribbing. I'm using 3.5mm hook and we'll need to make a chain of 6, or as many as you'd like. The number of chains will determine the width of the ribbing at the top of your sweater. From the second loop from the hook, the one on the hook doesn't count, start crocheting 5 single crochet down. Grab the yarn, pull it out and crochet 2 loops on the hook. It's a single crochet and we need to make 5 single crochet. Then make chain 1, turn your work, and from the second loop from the hook, through the back loop only, start crocheting 5 single crochet down again. Chain 1, turn your work and repeat the same way. From the second loop from the hook, through the back loop only, start crocheting 5 single crochet down. So we need to crochet 92 rows or more or less, depending on how wide you want the neckline of your sweater to be. I made with you 4 rows, keep crocheting the same way. Here's what my 92 rows of ribbing look like. It's not too wide, but you can still pull it off the shoulder if you want. Keep in mind that when you start crocheting the body of the sweater, the ribbing will stretch a bit, so don't make it overly wide. The width is 2.5 cm and the width is 66 cm. Let's join the two edges together, insert your hook into the very first stitch and grab the loop from the other side and pull it out. Then insert the hook into the next stitches on both sides and make a slip stitch. The first loop into the second loop. We need to make 4 slip stitches. This seam will be on the inside, so turn your work, grab the larger hook, 5mm, and we'll continue crocheting the sweater downward. Make chain of 2 and then start crocheting with double crochet into each row of the ribbing. The first 2 chains don't count as double crochet, so yarn over and insert your hook right under the chain of air loops, right here. Grab the yarn, pull it out, crochet first 2 loops, then 2 more. put a marker on the first stitch and continue. Yarn over, find the second row and make double crochet into the top of the second row. The double crochet for the next row will be a bit to the side in this free loop. Make the next double crochet. Continue crocheting double crochets into each row of the ribbing. You should have as many stitches as the number of rows in your ribbing. In my case, I should have 92 double crochets. So I've crocheted the entire ribbing and now we'll be crocheting in the round. We won't join the round, we will just continue making double crochets. You can continue with regular double crochets, but I'll do mine a little differently. I'll insert my hook into the center of double crochet from the previous row, right into the middle of the V shape, and then crochet regular double crochet. Place a marker on the first double crochet and now we'll need to place additional markers to start working on the raglan lines. We're crocheting the sweater from the top down with raglan shaping, so we'll have the lines that separate the front of the sweater, the back and the sleeves. Place a new marker on the next double crochet, like this, and then count 18 stitches, not including the marker itself, and place a new marker on the 18th stitch. These stitches will be for the sleeve. Next, count 28 stitches excluding the marker and place a marker on the 28th stitch. These stitches will be for the front of the sweater. Then count 18 more stitches and place a marker on the 18th stitch. This will be the second sleeve of the sweater. And this will be the back of the sweater. There should be 28 stitches with one marker for the back section. This is how it should look. In total, these numbers add up to 92, which is the number of rows in my ribbing. If you have a different number of rows in your ribbing, you should distribute the stitches in the same way, an equal number for the sleeves and an equal number for the front and back of the sweater. The purple marker indicates the beginning of the round, the green markers indicate the front of the sweater, and the orange markers indicate the back. The section between them are the sleeves. In the stitches where the markers are placed, except for the purple marker at the beginning of the round, we need to make 3 double crochets into the same stitch. Crochet a centered double crochet by inserting your hook right into the middle of the stitch from the previous row, make the first double crochet and then make 2 more double crochets into the same stitch. So this is our increase, 3 double crochets in one stitch. After that, place the marker back onto the middle double crochet of the 3. Continue crocheting the same center double crochets until you reach the next marker. And when you go to the next marker, make an increase by crocheting 3 double crochets into same stitch. I've reached the next marker, so remove it and crochet 3 double crochets into that stitch. Then I place the marker on the middle double crochet, and after that I continue crocheting the same way until the next marker. So crochet like this until the end of the round in each stitch where there is a marker, except for the one making the beginning of the round. Crochet 3 double crochets into the same stitch and move the marker to the middle double crochet. I'll meet you at the beginning of the round. So I reach the beginning of the round, I just move the marker that marks the start of the round to the next stage, and now in the next round we need to crochet without any increases. Just move the markers and don't make any increases, simply crochet the center double crochets as usual. The next round is with increases again. Crochet 3 double crochets into the stitch where the marker is and place the marker on the middle double crochet. This way we need to alternate rounds with increases and rounds without increases. This round will have increases and the next one will not. Keep crocheting like this until you reach about the middle of your chest, making sure the raglan lines come together comfortably under your arms. Honestly, this type of sweater crocheted top down with raglan lines is, in my opinion, the easiest. We're just working from top down, then we'll join the front and back of the sweater and continue crocheting in the round, and after that we'll crochet the sleeves separately. I think even a complete beginner can handle making this sweater. And here's what the top part of the sweater looks like on me so far. As you can see, sometimes I didn't crochet my double crochets quite right, but it's not very noticeable with this pattern. I might add a little rows here. I want to make a cropped sweater, but you can crochet a regular sweater at a standard length if you prefer. I'll also add a few more rows at the top since it's not comfortable yet. And now the raglan lines meet comfortably under my arms, so I'm going to join the front and back of the sweater. Here's what the top part of the sweater looks like. These are the raglan lines, and the height including the ribbing is 22 cm, from the ribbing is 20 cm. The width from one raglan line to the other is about 46–47 cm, and the sleeve width is 18 cm. I'm not sure how many rows I've crocheted here, so just go by the measurements in centimeters. Now we need to crochet the next round up to the marker that marks the raglan line, then remove the marker and crochet 1 double crochet. So here is my first raglan line, remove the marker and make 1 double crochet. Like this, then take the second raglan line from the other side, pull the yarn tight, and start crocheting the middle double crochet from the other side, right here. Here you should have a marker indicating the second raglan line. That's it, we join the front and back, forming one sleeve. Now we need to crochet up to the third raglan line, remove the marker, crochet 1 double crochet and then join the front and back of the sweater, forming the second sleeve. Just like before, into the middle double crochet, and here you should have a marker indicating the fourth raglan line. Next we continue crocheting to the end of the round, and now we'll only be working on the body of the sweater. The sleeves will be crocheted separately. So now continue crocheting in the round with center double crochets and keep going until you reach the desired length. We don't need the markers anymore here, and afterward we'll add the ribbing at the bottom of the sweater and then move on to the sleeves. So I've crocheted the length of a sweater that I want, which is 27 centimeters from the ribbing and 29 centimeters with the ribbing. We'll also crochet the ribbing without sewing it on. First, remove the marker that marks the beginning of the round and crochet a slip stitch here at the top. Then make chain of 7 or as many as you need, depending on how wide you want your ribbing to be. From the second loop from the hook, the one on the hook doesn't count, start crocheting 6 single crochet down. Next, crochet 2 slip stitches into the next 2 stitches to double crochet 1 and into the next 2. Turn your work and without making a chain, insert your hook directly into the third stitch from the hook through the back loop only, right here, and make 6 single crochet upwards. Then chain 1, turn your work, and again from the second loop from the hook through the back loop only, start crocheting 6 single crochet down. Next, crochet 2 slip stitches into the next 2 double crochets and make sure to crochet them loosely, pulling the stitch a bit more to avoid the ribbing becoming too tight at the bottom of the sweater. Then turn your work and without making any chains, insert your hook directly into the third stitch through the back loop only and start crocheting 6 single crochet upwards. Make chain 1, turn your work and crochet exactly the same way as before, and we need to crochet this ribbing all around the bottom of the sweater. So I'm at the very end and I need to crochet 1 more row down. And now we are going to join the ribbing. To do this, fold the ribbing like this and from the inside insert your hook into the first 2 stitches from both sides. Grab the loop from the other side and pull it through. Crochet it Then insert your hook into the next 2 stitches and make a slip stitch, and continue joining the ribbing with slip stitches until the end. At the end, chain 1 and cut the yarn. We've finished crocheting the body of the sweater, and this is how it looks, kind of like a regular t-shirt. I think this version could even be left as it is or turned into a cute summer top. If you use, for example, cotton yarn, I think it will be perfect. I've already crocheted one sleeve and the second one is worked the same way. Make a starter loop and insert the hook into the center of the stitch at the very bottom of the sleeve, right here. Grab the yarn, pull it out and make chain of 2. Then make yarn over and insert the hook into the same stitch, pull it out, and crochet only 2 loops on the hook. Make yarn over again and insert the hook into the next stitch. Grab the yarn, pull it out and crochet only first 2 loops on the hook. You have 3 loops on the hook and crochet them together like this. Put a marker on this stitch. It's the beginning of the round, so this creates a decrease so there won't be a large hole under the sleeve. Continue crocheting regular center double crochets until you have 2 stitches left. At the end of the row we need to make a decrease to avoid a gap under the sleeve, so make yarn over, insert the hook into the last stitch of the row, pull it out and crochet 2 loops on the hook. Then make yarn over again, insert the hook into the stitch at the bottom of the sleeve right here. Pull it out, crochet only 2 loops on the hook and then crochet 3 loops together. Then continue crocheting in the round, remove the marker and insert your hook into the middle of 2 stitches that formed the decrease and make just usual center double crochet. Place the marker back, continue crocheting with regular center double crochets. And at the end of the row crochet a center double crochet into the 2 stitches from the previous row where we made the decrease. Then continue crocheting regular center double crochets in the round as usual without any decreases or increases, just continue until the sleeve reaches the desired length. So I finished the sleeve. The length of my sleeve from the ribbing is 54 cm and from the underarm is about 33 cm. Now we will make the ribbing exactly as we did at the bottom of the sweater. We join the round with a slip stitch, then make chain of 7. Next, from the second loop from the hook, start crocheting 6 single crochet down. Then make 2 slip stitches in the next 2 double crochet. Turn your work and from the third loop from the hook through the back loop only, start crocheting 6 single crochets upwards. then chain 1, turn your work, and again work 6 single crochets down, make 2 slip stitches, turn your work, and from the third loop from the hook through the back loop only, crochet up, and continue crocheting this pattern around the entire edge of the sleeve. I'm at the very end. I've already crocheted the last row down, and now we are joining the ribbing with the slip stitches, just like we did at the bottom of the sweater. Then chain 1 and cut the yarn. And this is how the sweater looks without the roses. You can leave it like this. It's more versatile, basic version of the sweater that will suit any look, even a slightly sporty one. But remember, you can make the neckline of the sweater smaller, and then your sweater will be more basic. But now we will start crocheting the roses. There will be 3 sizes. For the roses, I will use a small 3mm hook. You can of course use the same 3.5mm hook. Let's start with the big roses. Chain of 31 and then follow the pattern I wrote above. Starting from the second loop from the hook, make a single crochet, then yarn over, make half double crochet, then make 2 double crochets in one stitch, 1 into the same stitch, 2, then again 2 double crochet into the next stitch, 1 into the same stitch, 2, and again 2 double crochet into the one stitch, and then double crochet and half double crochet into the same stitch. Then repeat the pattern: single crochet, half double crochet, 2 double crochets in one stitch, 1 and 2, again 2 double crochets in one stitch, 1 and 2, and again 2 double crochets in one stitch, 1 and 2, and double crochet and half double crochet into the same stitch. Repeat this pattern until the end of the chain. Next, make chain of 2, turn your work, and from the third loop from the hook in the very first stitch, crochet 2 double crochets into one stitch, 1 and into the same stitch, 2, then again into the next stitch, 2 double crochets, 1, 2, into the next stitch, again 2 double crochets, 1, 2, into the next stitch, 1 double crochet and half double crochet into the same stitch, like this, then single crochet and repeat, half double crochet into the same stitch, double crochet into the next stitch, 2 double crochets, 1, 2, again 2 double crochets into the next stitch, 1, 2, then double crochet and half double crochet into the same stitch, and make single crochet. So repeat this pattern until the end of the rows. At the very end, make chain 1, cut the yarn, leave a longer tip, then roll up the rows like this. Then take a needle and sew it well along the entire circle. After that, make 2 knots with the long threads, and that's it, the first rows is ready. Try to leave longer tips both at the beginning and at the end of the rows, so it's easier to sew them onto the sweater later. Next, the small rows. It's very simple, just don't forget to leave a longer tip. Make chain of 16 and then, starting from the second loop from the hook, make 2 single crochets into each stitch. And after that, make chain 1, cut the yarn, leave a longer tip, roll up the rows and sew it at the base. Tie 2 knots and the small rose is ready. And now for the medium-sized rows, chain 21 and, starting from the second loop from the hook, follow this pattern: single crochet, then half double crochet into the next stitch, then into the next stitch 2 double crochets in one stitch, 1 and 2, and into the next stitch 2 double crochets again, 1 and into the same stitch 2, and repeat the pattern: single crochet, then half double crochet, 2 double crochets into one stitch, and again 2 double crochets into one stitch. Repeat this pattern until the end of the chain. Then make chain of 2, turn your work, and from the third loop from the hook into the first stitch, make 2 double crochets into one stitch right here. Follow this pattern, then into the next stitch again 2 double crochets and 2, into the next stitch single crochet, into the next stitch 2 double crochets, 1, 2, into the next stitch again 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, into the next stitch again single crochet, and repeat this pattern until the end of the rows. At the end, chain 1, leave a longer tip and cut the yarn. Roll up the rows, sew it at the bottom, make 2 knots, and make as many roses as you need depending on how you want to play them on the sweater. I will place my roses roughly like this around the neck of the sweater and also on the sleeves, with 5 roses on each. Sewing them on is quite simple. I pull the long ends of the roses to the inside of the sweater, then tie 2 knots, and then use the needle to hide the ends through the stitches. I advise you to first place the roses where you want them. Pull the ends to the inside and tie a knot for each one. If you want to move them later, it will be much easier because I sewed the roses on immediately and couldn't move any of them since they were already sewn in place. And here is the incredibly romantic sweater we've created today with you, perfect for Valentine's Day and for International Women's Day. I thank you for watching this video. I'm sure you did it well. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask them in the comments or DM me on my Instagram. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, to my Instagram, and don't forget to tag me with your creations on my Instagram. I see all of them and I try to answer all of you on my DMs. And thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, kitties!